materials needed for the Zaracap. In today's class, we're going to be learning how to make a Zaracap with a bow design. You can as well do any design of your choice after you finish up making the Zaracap. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we're going to be making a bow design that will be attaching to the Zaracap. And here are the materials needed for this project. This is my marker. You can get this in a shop where they sell bags material. Yes, where they sell bag material. Just tell them you want marco. This is my marco. This is my wording. It's optional. And this is my fabric. This is called the Your Baby fabric. You can use any fabric of your choice. You can use your ashoke. You can use your scuba fabric. You can use your poly fabric. You can use your velvet. Just any stretchy fabric of your choice. And if you want to make use of a non-stretchy fabric, which is the shining face satin or the dull face satin, you can as well use it. And this is my scissors. This is my tape measurement. And as we proceed further in the teaching, I will show you other materials that will be needed for this project. For my Zaracap design, these are my measurements. The macro measurement is 19 inches in length, as you can see. 19 inches in length and 3 inches in width. Then for my fabric, I have 24 inches in length. The length of my fabric is 24 inches, while the width of my fabric is 16 inches. The length of my fabric, this place, the end circumference, the length is 24 inches, while the width is 16 inches. The measurement for my Zaracap is for my marco, I have 19 inches in length and then 3 inches in width. Then for my baby fabric, I cut out 24 inches in length and then 16 inches in width. 16 inches in width and 24 inches in length. And the next thing I'll be doing now is I'm going to fold my fabric into two just to get the middle part. Can you see? I've folded it into two like this. So I'm going to notch the middle part with my scissors. Likewise, that is what I will do for my marco. I'm going to fold it into two like this and also notch the middle part with my scissors. So after that, the next thing is I'm going to be placing my marco on my fabric. So this is the wrong side of my fabric. I hope you're seeing it. This is the wrong side of my fabric, and this is the point where I notch. So I'm going to place my marco at the point where I notch. I'm going to let it to meet the fabric here. I hope you're seeing it. Then the next thing is I'm going to fold it. Take note, this is the wrong side of the fabric. And that reminds me, when you're working on a non-stretchy fabric, make sure that the length of your fabric is 26 inches. Reason being that it is not a stretchy fabric, so it has to accommodate the head of whosoever that is putting it on, and it's going to make it sit comfortable on our head. But if you're using a stretchy fabric, just like what I'm using, you are using 24 inches. That's the normal head circumference of an adult. So let's proceed. Then you turn it over like this. You can now see that this is the right side. This is the wrong side. This is the wrong side of my fabric. For those that will be using a material that has the front and the back, make sure that the middle part of your marco is in alignment with the middle part of your fabric. Then you turn it over like this. Can you see? So make sure that as you turn it over, the marco is firm. The marco is firm here. You can feel the marco. So at this point here, you have to take it to your sewing machine and then sew it all the way down. But for you to make it more neater, you have to bring out excesses. Then you fold the excess. You fold the excess like this. You fold it in just the way as I'm doing it. Then you take it to your sewing machine and sew it all the way down. As you're sewing it, you keep pushing your marco to the front so that this part here, so that this part here is going to form very well. You keep pushing it to the front, so it's going to form very well. Then as you're sewing, make sure that your sewing is not touching the marco. As you're sewing it, it's not touching the marco, and that's what I'll be doing right now. I'm going to sew it all the way down, and I'll be right back to show you the next step to take. So this is how it looks like after I'm done sewing it. The next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sewing this part, this place where the marco stop. I'm going to sew it here and sew it at the other end too. Reason being that I want the marco to stay in place. I don't want it to shift from right to left. So, and once I'm done with that, I'll show you the next step to do. The next step to do is to fold it into two like this. Then you run a stitch. Make sure you leave a space of half inches. Then you run a stitch all the way down. And before that, you come up by 1 inches, just like the way we usually do our turban. You come up by 1 inch. Then from this point, you come down. When you get to this point of the 1 inch, you curve your hand and you run it down. So that is what I'll be doing now. So I'm done running my stitch, and the next thing I'll be doing is I'm going to run a gather stitch or a loose stitch. So here is my needle and thread, and I pick it up after the band. Sorry, after the marco, I mean. So I'm running my loose stitch now. So I'm done with my loose stitch. Then I turn it inside out. And here comes my Zaracap. So the next thing I'll be doing now is I'm going to be forming the design. I'm going to be forming the design that I'm going to attach to the cap. So this is my Zaracap on my mannequin head. I hope you can see the back. And the next thing we'll be doing now is to make a bow that will be attached to either the front or the back of the Zaracap. You can be creative on your own. You can make rose, you can just make any design. But for the purpose of this tutorial, we're going to be making a bow design. And this is my fabric. The length of my fabric is 20 inches, while the width is 8 inches. Depending on how big or how small you want your bow to be, it determines your measurement. And the next thing I'll be doing is I'm going to be folding it into two on the wrong side. As you can see, it has been folded into two on the wrong side. So I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew it all around. But before then, at each edges, I'm going to curve my hand. I don't want it to be straight. So at least once I start from this point, I'll take it to my sewing machine, sew straight down. When I get to this place, when I get to this edge, I'll curve it. Go straight down. When I get there, I'll curve it. When I get to this place, I'll curve it. When I get to this edge, I'll curve it and leave about 2 inches. I won't sew 2 inches there. Reason being that I want to use it to turn it inside down to the right side. And that is all I'll be doing. Then I'll show you how it looks like and what's next to do. So I've gone ahead to sew it. You can see it. You can see how I curved my hand here. At the other edge, I curve it. At the other edge, I curve it too. So I curve it at all the edges, and this is the space I left that I did not sew, and I'm going to be turning it inside from the space I left. I'll make sure I use my scissors to bring out the edges. So this is it. So I'll take it to my sewing machine and sew this place up. I'll stitch it with my sewing machine, and I'll be right back to show you what next to do. So before I close it up, I'm going to be inserting my wording inside. It's either I use wording or you make use of a foam. Anyone available at your disposal, make good use of it. Or you can as well leave it if you don't want to add anything to it. The reason why I'm adding it is I don't want my bow to just be like that. I want it to be a bit puff, like I want it to puff up a bit. So here is my wording that I've cut into pieces. This is a wording. So I've cut it into pieces, and the next thing is just to insert it inside. And once I'm done filling it up inside, I will go ahead and close the part that is open. And when I'm done with that, I'll show you the next step to do. So this is it. I've closed the mouth, and the next thing to do is to form my bow. So I'm just going to hold it like this. So this is my bow, and I pick up my thread. Make sure that your thread is very thick, and use it to tie it round the middle part. Just tie it round and let it be very thick. So this is it. After tying it up with my thread, I need to cover this thread. So I pick up my trimmings. You can use your material to cover it up. So this is my trimmings. All I need to do is I'm going to apply my gum on it. So after applying my gum on it, I'm going to stick it round like this to my bow. Then I cut the excess, and that is that for the bow. And the next thing is we are going to be attaching our bow to the Zaracap. So this is my bow. Can you see? I've covered it up with my trimmings. And next thing is to attach it on your Zaracap. So here is my Zaracap. This is my Zaracap. I can decide to attach it anywhere of my choice. So you can as well put it here if that's what you want. You can fix it at the side if you are okay with that. And you can fix it at the back if that's what you want. So I'm going to be attaching my Zaracap to the back or the side. Well, the next thing to do is just to apply my gum at the point where I want to attach it. So I will apply my gum here and stick it to my Zaracap. That's all. Or I stick it to this side or anywhere of your choice. Just make sure you apply your gum here and you stick it. So that's what I'll be doing, and I'll show you the final results.